from my house. And it's just we have a couple of snafus at the building, which will be fixed. It shouldn't take very long at all. We'll let you know what the situation is next week. Hopefully, be back in the building, but we'll tell everyone. And I wanted to wish everybody Shabbat Shalom. Cantor Jenny's on vacation this week, so we'll miss her. Appreciate her covering from me when I was on summer camp. More about that later, of course. Um, but welcome everybody on Facebook and YouTube as well. For the people on Facebook and YouTube, you may or may not know that we just had a couple of repairs that we need to do at the synagogue, and we should be back in the building soon. So it shouldn't be too difficult. But if you have the Mishkan Tefillah prayer book at home, that will be the one that we'll be looking at, the one for Shabbat. And so we're on page 10 for Hinei Matov. And I know that I won't be able to necessarily hear your voice, because if everyone was unmuted, we'd be all out of sync. But I know you'll be singing, and I'll see your lips moving, and that's wonderful. Hinei Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Now, I don't know if any of you have Shabbat candles next to you, but we'll get to that in a second. If you have them near you and you want to adjust them so they can be seen behind you, that would be lovely. But I just want to make a couple of announcements. Firstly, just again, really appreciate Sydney and Aubrey, who's going to be here for the whole service. And dealing with all of our technology this evening. Thank you so much for your help on that one. Torah study tomorrow at 8:30 on Zoom, and then Shabbat morning services at 10 a.m. on Zoom. Everyone, you just scroll down to the bottom of the email you received yesterday, and you'll get the link for tomorrow as well. Look forward to seeing you for that. So just an announcement about the blood drive. Red Cross blood supplies are at a 4-year low. And so this Sunday, we'd love you to donate blood, August 9th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. If you're wondering about High Holy Days registration, then everything opens for members on August 10th. And August 11th, I will be doing my first Tuesday at 4 p.m. Torah study. That obviously continued through the summer, but I was absent for those 2 months, so glad to be back. And then Friday, August 14th, next week, we'll have birthday anniversary blessings, and our new board will be installed. And just one last thing, we have such a wonderful ECE preschool run by Mindy Henry, and we can get some attention for them by voting for them. So I've put the link just now in the chat if you want to grab that, and Aubrey, if you want to put that on the socials, that would be really wonderful. But I just want to say on behalf of the Kolomi clergy staff and Board of Trustees, Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. And so you can see the candles that I've got right here. And so if you've got candles close, now would be the time. So I'm going to light mine. And you can find the candle blessing on on page 2 of your prayer books if you have the Mishkan Tefillah in front of you. And we say the blessing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר, להדליק נר של Shabbat. So it's wonderful to bring in Shabbat, and we're going to sing some words from the Psalms, Shir Chadash. Please join in if you know it, and at some point the slides will be up there. It might take a little bit longer than usual for the slides. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Try that. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz, Shirul Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. We'll continue over on page 20 to welcome the Shabbat bride, the final verse of which will rise and face the door, wherever your door happens to be. And please join in on page 20. Lecha dodi likra kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zacho b'dibo echad ishmianu Elam yuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litila lecha dodi likarat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likarat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lecho v'necha ki mekor habaracha merosh mikedem nasucha sof maaseh b'machshava techila lecha dodi likarat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likarat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, hitorari, kiva orech, kumi uri, 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 shidaberi, kvod Adonai, alayik nikla, lecha dodi, likarat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likarat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. We rise. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לבת דודי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה דודי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. We turn forward to page 22 for our Shabbat Psalm, Psalm 92. Page 22. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי הסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינו. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני כולם, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. On page 26 for the half Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביומי חון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב ואמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשם ברכו, לעילה מן כה ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן ביalma v'himaru. I know that you're all singing the Amen wherever you are. We're on page 28 for Baruch Hu. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la ya la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la ya la. Ya la la ya la la ya la la ya la la ya ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamavorah. Baruch Adonai Hamavorah לעולם ועד. Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la, ya la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la, ya la la, ya la. We continue over on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. You can find Ahavat Olam on page 32. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadata, Otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu, Ukumenu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha la'olam va'ed. Ki em chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. V'ahavatecha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. You can find Shema on page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We'll continue with Vahavtron 36. Please be seated if it's your custom. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol avavcha v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol ma'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher Anochi metzavacha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'letecha v'derech, uv'shokbecha v'kumecha, v'kshartam na'ot hayadecha, v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha, v'chatavtam hamezuzot beitecha, ובשעריך למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Please be seated. We continue over on page, I want to say 38. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. You can find Micha Mocha on page 40. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלף. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלף. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה מרים זה ליאנו אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. So we continue with our evening blessing, Hashkivenu, in the form of Let There Be Love. I suspect you can find it maybe on page 42, page 43. Ah, here we go. We've got the slides. Thanks so much, Aubrey. Appreciate you working it out this evening. And we sing together. Let there be love. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom, V'hamidenu, Shomreinu L'chaim, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו, השכיבנו לשלום. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and shared friendship be our shelter from life's storms. One more time. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. So we continue now with Yismachu, our joyous Shabbat song. You can find it right there on page 42 of Mishkan Tefillah. Ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 Yismachu v'malachutecha shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei onegam Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat. I want to hear you say Shabbat. Kulam yisbu v'yitamku mituvecha Shabbat. Shabbat. Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg v'hashvi Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat Shabbat Chemdat yamim Oto karata Shabbat Shabbat Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Zecher Lemase v'reishit Shabbat Shabbat Zecher Lemase v'reishit Shabbat Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Yismachu v'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Over on page 46, we rise for the tefillah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agite ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Agadol, Agibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Kodnei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Gula Lifnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer, U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah gibor olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות. ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We continue just right now for a few moments silence, and when you've finished the Amida, then you take a seat. So to round off the Amida, we're going to sing a song of peace that I introduced a few weeks ago. Between Cantor Ben Ray and I, we've kept going and made sure that we know it. Just four phrases. And it goes like this. I'm sure many of you will remember it as we've been singing it for a few weeks now. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Try that with me again. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עוד יבוא Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael od yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael od yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Thanks for singing with me. I know everybody's out there singing in their own way. I'm sorry we can't hear each other's voices. I know your voices would be absolutely angelic if I could hear them. Just want to check in. We do have a few names to add to that healing list. Rob Herbst, Jim Rich, and Jeff Bickert. And I don't know if it's possible for you, if anyone wants to put any names right now. I know that we don't have a general group, but if you actually, Aubrey, if you just tell me if there's anyone else on Zoom or on the socials who's put any other names, just let me know momentarily if you could. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, thank you, Aubrey. We'll continue with our Misha Beirach, our healing prayer. And once the names have gone by, eventually you'll get some words on there, but I'm sure you know words pretty well. I reach out my hand to you across the internet divide as we hold hands together and sing the Misha Beirach. Misha Beirach. Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Yivarech, V'yirapeh, et hacholim. Misheberach, Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Yivarech, Yirapeh, et hacholim. Elna, Refanala, Elna Refanala, Elna Refanala, Elna Refanala, Misheberach, Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Yivarech, Yirapeh, et hacholim. So, as many of you know, I just returned from the Jewish summer camp, Camp Newman, in Northern California, and amongst my duties, apart from staring at the redwood trees in that part of Sonoma County, I teach and I help lead services alongside more youthful song leaders and fill in where I'm needed. Now, one of those fill-in moments comes when I greet families as their car enters camp and guide them to their parking spot. And I get the families to take one last photo. It's the parting moment with their kid, and they won't see them for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. I have to separate the families and send some back to their cars, and the kids I send them to their counselor and their cabin. As they take that final photo, they stand in front of a massive, colourful sign which reads, "I love being Jewish." And indeed, from time to time, as I was walking around the campus, I would hear groups of young people shout out, "I love being Jewish." And I'd turn around, look up to a massive white Jewish star at the top of a huge craggy hill, and at the top would be an intrepid set of young climbers. Camp tradition was that you shouted, "I love being Jewish," when you got to the top of that hill. And the beautiful thing is that for these campers, it didn't even occur to them that love would not be present in their Jewish life. And as they went about their days on camp, they loved being with their friends. They loved interacting with the slightly older counselors. They loved knowing the songs. They just loved it all. And now, at the risk of being a killjoy, my question is whether Judaism, is it really meant to be about love? Is it actually that simple? And it seemed that simple when I married my wife, Sarah, back in August of 20. Oh, I said 2021. That's not right at all. 2001. Don't tell her I forgot our wedding date. We had a choir of our friends 25 years ago sing at the ceremony at the West London Synagogue. And for those who don't know London or that synagogue, it was founded in 1840, and its sanctuary, grand and Moorish. One of the Jewish texts our friends sang at the ceremony was Dodi Li. It translates as "My beloved is mine and I am his." It's a classic biblical love poem. And many of you know the melody, I'm sure, that we sing to that text. Dodi Li ve'ani lo haroeh Bashoshanim Dodi Li. And the thing about the book that line comes from is that the Song of Songs, it seems to be an outlier in the biblical canon. While the book's all about secret liaisons and sensual rendezvous, interpreted as the loving relationship between God and the Jewish people, you can't find much of that in the other parts of the Hebrew Bible. You mainly hear about God as a warrior or judge, or in the case of this week's portion, a divine entity that visits curses on those who don't follow the correct path. Not much room for love there, mainly fear. In other words, if kids at Camp Newman simply love being Jewish, but a strong message we get from our Torah is that God is to be feared, obeyed, and followed, not least at the beginning of this week's Torah portion, Ra'eh, will the real Judaism please stand up? On the side of love, many of us could probably cite prayers in our Shabbat services which talk directly of love. In Hebrew, the words ahava, levahavta, ahavat olam, ahava rabbah. You can hear ahava, love, in all of them. And it's often suggested the most important mitzvah commandment in all of our Holy Torah is vahavta l'orecha kamocha. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. It's definitely a strong loving strand of love in Judaism. But on the other hand, there's always been plenty of fear in Judaism, not just the threat of the curses alluded to in this week's portion, but in the way we've been organized, traditionally speaking. So anyone from New York or Chicago, LA, Miami, Philly, or Pittsburgh will know about close-knit Jewish neighborhoods and the pressures and expectations which come from that environment. So when you're in a part of town where shuls, delis, and kosher slaughterers abound, people generally keep to traditional Jewish behavior for fear of what people might gossip about your family as they look out you from their window or from their stoop. Going further back to Europe, when we lived in ghettos, we were often forced to live in Jews-only locations. American cities and European ghettos could both provide loving, supportive communities. They could also create a backdrop of fear and suspicion and checking up on or denouncing your friends, family members, and neighbors. And all of that sounds like a very far cry from those kids on Camp Newman simply loving being Jewish, even to the point of shouting that assertion at the top of their lungs. So here's the problem with the tension between love and fear in Judaism, though. The problem is that these two concepts or feelings are actually not easily separated. They're actually intertwined. Let me explain how they're threaded together like the braids of. We often translate it as fear, but actually it's closer to awe. And in our mystical book, the Zohar, it more helpfully talks about yira tata, lower fear, the fear of punishment. Understandably, not an alluring concept, but the Zohar also talks about yira ila'a, higher fear, which is really awe at God's grandeur. And the higher fear enables and merges with love in a lot of ways. It's not separate from it. So when we are in awe of God instead of afraid of God, our feelings are positive, not negative, often expansive and loving. And secondly, love in Judaism, it's not an airy fairy, arty farty concept. It's actually rooted and concrete and comes with expectations, some of which are related to the realm of fear. So mitzvot or commandments in Judaism, practical Jewish actions come with expectations. Even in the modern personal freedom America we inhabit, there can still be a sense of hearing the divine voice commanding us through the words of the Torah. And when our tradition tells us to love our neighbor as ourselves, it's not meant as an abstract, it's meant as an inducement to measurable action. If we love our neighbor, we have a responsibility to feed them, clothe them, help them become independent. We visit the sick, comfort mourners, and welcome guests. All of this is love made real. We talk about loving God in the Bahavta, but we make it real through putting a mezuzah on our door and studying Torah. I tell my wife I love her really on a daily basis. And I also, though, just to be sure she knows, bring her flowers. She understands I love her intellectually and emotionally, but it doesn't hurt to show her logistically with those flowers. So when those kids climb to the summit of that hill on Camp Newman and shout, I love being Jewish, it's so wonderful. And I dearly want them to love being Jewish. I definitely don't want them doing Jewish through fear. During the course of their Jewish life, however, I want them to see how love is not that abstract in Judaism. It's connected to a beautiful sense of awe. It's connected to concrete behavioral expectations, and it demands of us that if we love someone, we show them how in the real world with real actions. Shabbat Shalom. I don't know, Aubrey, you can tell me if there's any way of people sharing the good things that happened to them this week. I'm not sure if that's possible, technologically speaking. Feel free to message me, Aubrey, if that's possible. If people are watching on YouTube and Facebook, if they want to message some good things that happened to them this week. If you want to raise your hands here in Zoom, then Aubrey can definitely unmute you and you can share something good that happened. So yeah, anyone want to share something good that happened to them this week? If you raise your hand high, then Aubrey can spot you and unmute you. I'd love to hear a couple of things from people. And remember, it doesn't have to be a really enormous event in your life. It just has to be a positive one, even if it's a small. Would anyone like to share something? Okay, Rochelle Roth. If you could unmute Rochelle, that would be really wonderful. I'll just tell you when you're unmuted there, Rochelle. Or Aubrey, if you could do that for us, that would be so wonderful. Thank you. All right.
Well, last Sunday, my daughter, who had her son on her birthday,
Right.
and my birthday and my daughter on my birthday, we all went and celebrated last Sunday, the
Wow.
month of August, and my granddaughter on the 4th.
Wow. Okay, that is fantastic. It does not get much better than that. Lovely. Is there someone else who wants to share a good thing? Just raise your hand high, and we can make sure that we unmute. It'd be lovely to hear at least one more thing, something good that happened to you this week that you'd like to share. Okay. All right. Well, I know that you've got all these good things in your heart. I realize that some people are shy, but I certainly would mention good thing that happened this week is my daughter started her sophomore year at high school, and just amazing to see her grow up and mature. It's a really lovely thing. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to continue with the concluding prayers of our service. And we'll go over to Aleinu, which you can find on page 282. Actually, you know something? Before we do that, for the good things that Rochelle mentioned, for the good thing that I mentioned, and for the good thing that other people have in their heart and are talking about. Hello, everybody on YouTube and Facebook. We recite the Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Amen. Join in with the amens. Ah, 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 Amen. For Aleinu, we rise the middle of 282. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גלולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שמחותינו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים. לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושיב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, השבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבנו. Rabba. I know if I was in the sanctuary, I might ask people to come forward to lay stones on that table, but not this Friday. So I do therefore want to mention those who died in the past month: Andrew Lipman, Buddy Rosenbluth, Angela Murley, Richard Rojas, Joel Benjamin Brown, and James Ellar. And those whose yard sites fall this week: Marvin Bernstein, Ari Yechiel Blackstein, Tom Bonham, Rhoda Brown, Mary Carroll, Gussie Citron, Lena Disler, Jerry Duran, Abe Eisenberg, Francis Feldman, Emily May Felsman, Alex Gordon, Malvine Gottlieb, Ida Grossman, Marilyn Haas, Herbert Harris, Rhoda Heimerdinger, Carl Hirsch, Nathan Jaffe, Joe Calpin, Samuel Kaplan, Sam Kaplan, Marion Betty Klein, Pamela Kaminsky, Leonard Lanier, Larry Lycan, Sharon Faith, Lisa Roxin, Anna Rose Leonard, Irene Lloyd, James Martin, Persephone Mellin, Harry Miller, Rita Nelson, Nicole O'Donnell Levine, Rose Danza Plotkin, Irene Rainbow, Morton Robbins, George Rubenstein, Carl Saboda, Sol Schiffman, Harry Scheimel, Edek Schnaps, Josef Edek Schnaps, Charlie Schaefer, Bonnie Schenkerau-Hollis, Frederick Teller, Lorraine Teller, William Walker, Jennifer Wallerstein, and Sylvia Wise. I want to mention the name of Zoltan Topa from the online part of our community. And over on page 294, we support the mourners. We rise and say Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Ba'alma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam la'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithada v'yitale v'yithalal. Shemei l'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran ba'alma v'imru. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. V'imru, 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 amen. V'imru, 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 amen. So make sure you get wine. I've got my cup. All right. I hope you can get something if it's within reach. You can find Kiddush back on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon chinchilanu. Zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrohei kodesh. Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'chata v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim. בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. Chaim. Okay, I hope you can get your challah. I brought mine, and I know normally if I was in the sanctuary, we'd connect the whole congregation together, but we'll just have to do it this time using the internet. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Avon. Okay, so just harking back to a couple of the announcements that we made earlier. We of course have the blood drive on Sunday. I think there's a couple of spots still. We know, thanks to Catherine Rosenberg for taking the lead on that. Really so grateful to her. And then also remember, you can vote for the ECE, our preschool in the local paper. And there's such a beautiful part of our institution, which is led by Mindy Henry, and we just want to give them a good, like a good score and get publicity for them. So I've just put in the chat again the link for that. So please follow that link, and we'd love you to just support the preschool in that way. We are on page 321, 321 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'terem Ko Yetzid Nira Le'enasa V'hefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Ichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu yeh b'tifara, v'hu echad, v'yein sheni, להמשילו, להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. V'hu eli, v'chai goali, v'tzuchev li, b'heit Sarah, v'hu nisi, umanos li, manat kosi b'yom ekra. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Beyado afkid ruchi, beyedishan, beya'ira, beyim ruchi, gaviati. Adonai li velo ira. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. So what I'd love is not to stop the Zoom meeting quite yet. It would be lovely just